Cleopatra's tomb has never been found, the most famous queen in history, and we have no idea where her body is. People have searched for 2,000 years. Nothing. So where is she hiding? She fooled the two most powerful men in Rome, she ruled all of Egypt, and she died on her own terms. But the real story of Cleopatra is even weirder than the legend. Here are 15 secrets they never told you. Cleopatra was Egypt's most famous queen. But get this, she wasn't even Egyptian. Her family came from Greece. They ruled Egypt for 300 years, and not one of them ever learned to speak Egyptian. Cleopatra was the first, and she didn't just rule, she told everyone she was a living god. And they believed her. So why do we all think she was Egyptian? Forget what you've heard about her being the most beautiful woman ever. Old coins show a normal face with a big nose. Her real power was her brain. Cleopatra could speak up to 9 different languages. She studied science, math, and medicine. Men didn't fall for her looks. They fell for the smartest, most dangerous mind in the world. So why does everyone only talk about her beauty? Cleopatra needed to meet the most powerful man in Rome, Julius Caesar. But her enemies guarded the palace, so she did something crazy. She had herself rolled up inside a sack and carried right past the guards, straight into Caesar's room. When they opened it, the Queen of Egypt tumbled out at his feet. By morning, Caesar was on her side. One night changed everything. What did she say to him? Cleopatra had one strange obsession. She wanted to know the easiest way to die. They say she tested poisons on prisoners, watching to see which one killed slowly and which one killed with no pain at all. Why? She was getting ready. She wanted to be sure that one day she could choose exactly how she would go. What was she so afraid was coming for her? Everyone knows the story. Cleopatra died from a snake bite, hidden in a basket of fruit. But here's the problem. No snake was ever found. A snake big enough to kill 3 people is really hard to hide, and its bite usually kills slowly and painfully. Many people think she used her own secret poison. Others think someone killed her. So how did the last queen of Egypt really die? Cleopatra once made a crazy bet with a Roman general. She said she could spend a fortune on a single dinner. Then she took one of the biggest pearls on earth, worth more than a whole city, dropped it into a cup of vinegar, and drank it. Gone. She won the bet in one gulp. How rich do you have to be to drink a pearl and not even care? Cleopatra gave Julius Caesar something no one else could, a son. She called him Caesarion, which means Little Caesar. She showed him off as the future king of both Egypt and Rome. But this terrified Rome's leaders. A half-Egyptian boy who could one day own everything. That fear may have gotten Caesar killed, and it doomed the boy too. So what happened to their son? Cleopatra and the Roman general Mark Antony made a promise. They would never live in a world ruled by their enemy. When Antony was tricked into thinking Cleopatra was already dead, he stabbed himself. He died in her arms. A few days later, Cleopatra ended her own life too, so no one could drag her through Rome as a prize. And just like that, 3,000 years of pharaohs were over. Was it love or her last escape? You can't visit Cleopatra's palace because it's underwater. Long after she died, huge earthquakes dropped most of her city straight into the sea. Today, divers swim through her drowned streets, past giant statues and stone sphinxes lying in the dark on the ocean floor. Her whole world is now at the bottom of the sea, and her final secret might still be down there. Is Cleopatra buried under the waves? In Cleopatra's city stood the greatest library ever built. It held every book and every idea from the ancient world, and many of them existed nowhere else. Then, during a war, fire ripped through the city. Those books turned to ash. We will never know what was lost. Maybe cures, maybe secrets, maybe the truth about the past. How much of the world's knowledge burned away in Cleopatra's city? For 3,000 years, Egypt was ruled by pharaohs, god-kings buried with gold in giant tombs. Cleopatra was the very last one. When she died, Rome took over Egypt, and it never ruled itself again. The crown that went all the way back to King Tut ended with her. A whole civilization's final chapter closed by one queen. Did she know she would be the last? After Cleopatra died, her teenage son was the last person who could threaten Rome's new ruler. There's a chilling saying from that time: too many Caesars is not a good thing. The boy was promised he would be safe, then quietly killed. With him, the family line of Cleopatra and Caesar was gone forever. Why does almost no one remember the boy who could have ruled the world? People have searched for Cleopatra's tomb for hundreds of years. One big clue points to an old temple outside her city, where secret tunnels and carvings of the queen were found deep underground. Some think she and Mark Antony are buried down there together, in secret. But the tomb has never been opened. The most famous grave in history is still out there, sealed shut. What is waiting inside? Here's a strange one. To keep her skin soft, Cleopatra is said to have bathed in donkey milk. Not a little bit. She needed hundreds of donkeys every single day just to fill one bath. Imagine being that rich and that extra. While her people worked out in the hot sun, their queen soaked in milk and honey. Would you take a milk bath if you were the ruler of Egypt? Cleopatra didn't just want to be queen. She wanted to be a god. She dressed in gold and told her people she was a goddess walking among them. And they believed it. Even after she died, her legend only grew bigger. 2,000 years later, we are still talking about her. Most people are forgotten in one lifetime. So how did one woman become immortal? 15 secrets. And the biggest one is still a mystery. Somewhere under the sand or the sea, the last queen of Egypt is still hidden. Of everything we found, which secret do you think they are still keeping from us?